Yo, what's going on, world? This is your boy Nick from Testament of a Believer, and today I want to talk to you about the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Nintendo was trash before I bought the Switch 2, and let me explain. Before, I had the Switch 1. Little confession to make. I had three Switches, right? I bought the launch Switch, I bought the Switch Lite, and then I bought the Switch OLED. But the thing about the Switch is I always liked the console and the concept, but I never really got into the games because they always felt inferior to games that were on other systems. Like when the system launched back in 2017, right? The PS4 was already out, right? And then when it launched in 2017, the games still were inferior to what was going on the PS4. Okay, then fast track 2020, PS5, Xbox One S and X came out. That kind of blew the Switch out of the water in terms of performance, and there was no looking back, right? I tried to force myself to play games on the Nintendo Switch, because I had the console and things like that. But I always found myself going back to the more superior consoles to get my itch from gaming. Things like Mortal Kombat and stuff. It was fun playing on handheld, but there was something missing as far as the graphic goes. Uh, Everything that I played on the Nintendo Switch felt like, why am I spending my money on this when I can spend the same amount of money and get a better version on another console, right? And the thing about the Switch was the appeal to be a handheld gamer. And it lives up to that, right? You could take this thing anywhere you want to go. You could take it on airplanes, you could take it on car trips, you could take it out in the park, you could take it anywhere, right? But being that it's so portable, the graphics and the processor and the GPU never really could live up to the hype that I was expecting. Now, first party Nintendo games, they looked okay. Third party were non-existent, or when they were on there, you wish you didn't buy it on the Nintendo Switch, right? You wish you would have just forked out the money for the PlayStation 4 or the PS5 version, and then the PS5 Pro came out, and it was like, man, I ain't even touching the Switch, right? But then the Nintendo Switch 2 came along, right? Nintendo Switch 2 came along. And man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Another thing before I get into the Switch 2, right? Some things that were missing as far as the tech goes on the Switch 1, such as game chat and things like that. You had to pull out your phone if you want to communicate with somebody you're playing the game with. Why do I have to have a separate device to talk to somebody I'm playing a game with? I never understood that concept. Game chat was not built in. Bluetooth, I don't know if they updated the system to allow Bluetooth headphones or what, but I kind of migrated off by the time. I still had the system, but it was docked. I stopped playing it, right? and then the features that I were looking for came into this guy. When I tell you, when I played this console, right, I was still kind of skeptical about buying this console. I kind of was looking and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying this. I don't even play the Switch 1. When I'm looking like buying the Switch 2, I'm not gonna buy it, right? And then I thought about it. I was like, well, if I'm gonna buy it, I get it for my daughters, right? I'll get it for them. They'll play it, right? But the thing about it is they really weren't playing the Switch 1 anymore because, you kind of, it's kind of like a console that you want to play with somebody with, But I said, you know what, maybe they lost their excitement, so I'm going to go ahead and buy this. It was launch day. I was on my way home from work. I was like, you know what? I seen a post from somebody on X, and they were like, yeah, we're getting ready, to pre-orders are still coming in. I was like, you know what? Let me stop at GameStop on my way home from work. It was like 5:30. 5:45, I got the GameStop, and I was like, what's my chances of buying a Nintendo Switch tonight if I come for the launch, right? And they were like, oh, we still got some for pre-order. Do you want one? I was like, yeah, sure. So I pre-ordered it, right? And then I came for midnight, and I brought my little girl, she's 8 years old, and that was her first midnight release. So that was pretty cool, right? And then I turned the Switch 2 into like a family memory thing, because the thing about the Switch is we always made memories per family, like playing the console with family, having game night with family and things like that. That was one thing about the Switch that I really liked, right? But the Switch 2, we did the launch. You could watch the video. I put it in the description down below. We went there launch night. We picked it up and things like that. And I got this thing home, and oh my gosh. I was not expecting the graphics in this thing to look like they look, right? So what once was something that couldn't keep up with a PS4, right now I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're basically pretty much on an Xbox Series S level with this console. You're pretty much on an Xbox Series S level with this console. The graphics are legit. Mario Kart, legit. It's gone. Are the 2D scrollers, or are you trying to be 3D gaming device, but you kind of look flat still? This thing is legit. The shadows, the lighting, the textures, legit. Cyberpunk, legit. Cyberpunk looks really, really good on this device. What I thought was not worth the money turned out to probably be my best purchase that I made in gaming in the last year. Now, I done bought some stuff in the last year. I done bought a Portal, wherever that thing is, the PlayStation Portal. I don't even, it's in the box somewhere. I don't Portal anymore because the thing about the Portal was, I should have brought it down here for this video, but the thing about the Portal is you need an internet connection and you can play with the cloud and things like that. But I like to play the games that's already on my PlayStation, right? I went on 2 vacations, not one, but 2 vacations, right? And I took the Portal with me. And I said, I'm going to see how far this thing can travel with me. And every time I turned the Portal on to play, something happened at my house to where there was a power outage and I couldn't connect to my PlayStation. Power never goes out while I'm here. But during those 2 trips, the power went out 2 times on both trips. And I was like, this thing don't even work. What in the world going on? And then I got back home and the stove is flashing, the clock on the stove is flashing and things like that. I was like, oh, the power went out. So I'm gonna try it again. I went on another trip and the power went out again. I'm like, what are the odds of this happening? But because it happened, I could not enjoy the device. So I was looking for a dedicated handheld is what I'm trying to say. I put the Portal back in the box. Good for when I'm around the house and things like that, but I couldn't really depend on it if I'm traveling, outside of my home because those 2 instances, the 2 instances that I wanted to test the thing out caused the power outages caused it to not work. So fast forward to this device, games are downloadable or per cartridge you can put in here. I don't know what I got in here now. Probably Just Dance or something. Nothing's in here right now. I don't know. They were playing Just Dance and they were playing Legos and Mario Kart is downloaded to the system. Cyberpunk is downloaded to the system. But oh my gosh, the graphics are insane. And the thing about it, what this device did is it turned my family back into a gaming family. Now we used the game individually. The Switch kind of brought us together and then it kind of tapered off once the prestige of the console, for lack of a better term, wore off, or the newness of the console wore off. We kind of went our separate ways. We'd play the game by ourselves sometimes. I'll play my PlayStation, my daughter played the PlayStation, played the Xbox and things like that, but we never really played together. Mario Kart World had me and my daughters in the same room playing the same game for hours. And I'm trying to tell you, get a camera. Get the camera because the camera, even if you don't buy the particular camera that came from Nintendo, buy a camera. Third-party webcams work. I got a video. I have a Logitech 925E, I think it is. And that device, I just had it laying around in the drawer. I never used it. And that device works great. Plugging the camera in and you having your picture showing, above the cars during Mario Kart made the game exciting and more fun to play. I was blown away, man. I had so much fun playing that. My daughters had so much fun playing it. The tournaments we had, the laughs we have, the togetherness we have. So if you have a family and you want to play games together and you want to vibe together, you want to have family night, this is the console for you. And the thing about it is that the Joy-Cons from the original Switch, right? The Joy-Cons, they can be paired to work on this device. So you don't have to buy extra equipment is what I'm trying to say. If you have an extra set of Joy-Cons laying around, just pair it up and they work perfectly. This thing has changed my mind. Like I said, I thought Nintendo was trash. I thought I was through with Nintendo before I bought a Switch 2 because this thing has lived up to the hype. This thing has blown me away in terms of performance. This thing has blown me away in terms of features. Now, you might say, well, other consoles had those features before. Yeah, but Nintendo never had them. And because Nintendo has them now, it makes this console more enjoyable. Game chat is built into the device. Now, be it, they're going to charge for it after 1 year, but right now it's free and it lives up to the hype. The camera quality, that's the thing about it is they didn't really give you false hope as far as the camera was going to be 720p or 1080p while you're racing in the Mario Kart. No, it is low frames per second, but it still works. It still works. You can see your facial expression. You can see yourself, and it is laughable, right? And it's just something that adds to the game instead of trying to be super techy and take something away from it. So I enjoyed that. But if you're on the fence about buying the Nintendo Switch 2, if you were disappointed with what the Nintendo Switch 1 had, as far as the graphic goes, as far as the game. And another thing, when I talked about Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk didn't even think about coming to the Switch 1. A lot of third-party games skipped the Nintendo Switch 1 because it was truly underpowered. And they didn't want to embarrass themselves by trying to port their game to this device like so many developers did. And their games were basically unplayable. So they skipped it, right? Rightfully so. But Cyberpunk being on this, EA announced that Madden 26, is it Madden 26? We're on 26 now. Madden 26 is going to be on this device. And the third-party games that's coming out now, this makes this device worth it to me. If I could play Madden, download it to a device and walk around with it and take it with me on trips in the hotel room, and the graphics are good, right? I'm not saying that the graphics are better than the PlayStation 5. I'm not saying that the graphics are better than the Xbox Series X, but I'm saying that the graphics are comparable to where you don't have to worry about I spent my money and I bought an inferior version and I wasted my money because this thing looks like crap, right? The games look good. I thought Nintendo was trash. I really did. The direction they were going in, I thought they were trash. I'm not going to lie, but I continued to support them. But I was like, this is big trash until I got this. And this is legit, right? Legit. So if you're on the fence of buying a Nintendo Switch 2, I encourage you to go ahead and jump off that fence and go ahead and purchase one. Stocks, they're coming in and out of stock, right? Go ahead and grab one. Target had some earlier today. Walmart had some yesterday. GameStop is, I don't know, GameStop is GameStop. And whenever they get some, you'll get some. And if you walk into your local store, you're more than likely to see one and to pick one up than not, right? Scalpers, you don't even have to buy one from a scalper because Nintendo is doing a good job keeping up with demand. They made enough to where you can walk in a store or in a week or two, you can order it and you can have some. Best Buy had some that were delivering on the 17th, all next week, right? So you can get one of these devices if you truly want one, man. If you're on the fence about it, go ahead and get it, man, because I'm enjoying this thing, man. I am enjoying it. The magnetic Joy-Cons, this thing is a magnet. It just snaps on. I didn't think I was going to like that feature too much. I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's a magnet. What's a magnet, right? But then when you get it and you be like, dang, this thing just worked, right? And it makes so much sense. I thought this worked. I thought this sliding up and down, right? But it's better to just put the magnet on there, man. It is so much more satisfying. I don't know. I kind of like this one too, though. This one sliding on there. But the magnet is easier. You just pop it on there and pop it off. And it's great. And it's super great. And I enjoy this console. So if you're on the fence, go ahead and buy one, man. I bought one and I don't regret it. I don't think you will either. But that's it for me, man. That's it for this video. You like this video, hit that thumbs up button. You want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments down below. Tell me if you're enjoying the Switch, you hate the Switch, or anything about the Switch that you want to have a conversation with it. I'll be down in the comments below, man, because I'm going to defend this thing because I like it. I really like it. And if I didn't like it, I would tell you. So that's it for me. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.